All right, folks, on to Roland Martin Unfiltered in Bethune-Cookman, the Interim President Lawrence Drake sent a letter out to the university, to the faculty, staff, and students, letting them know about what is next as it relates to the release of Ed Reed, also updating them on what's happening at the university. You had the continuing fallout over this. Of course, we talked to President Drake yesterday, plus Ed Reed, plus the football players. In a moment, we're going to talk with some students at Bethune-Cookman. But this is a statement that was sent out by the president. First, let me begin by saying that I was very proud of the manner in which our students handled themselves during yesterday's student gathering. It was actually a protest. It was orderly and represented the best intentions of students sharing their voices. While social media and media outlets have seized on not continuing negotiations with NFL Hall of Famer player Ed Reed, many of our students chose to use this moment to voice their concerns. This administration takes no issue with this. In the coming days, I will meet with student leaders to ensure that we address many of the students' concerns and answer their questions as honestly as possible. To close the chapter on Mr. Reed, he was a tremendous player. Still, as we continue to observe him, we felt that his behavior was not aligned with the traditions of our founder, Dr. Mary Cloud Bethune, and the university. We have over 50+ inquiries concerning our head coaching position and are very excited about our candidate pool. Many of them possess not only knowledge of the game and the ability to assist in raising funds for the program, still they are disciplined leaders who have demonstrated their steadfast commitment to our Christian values. They also have the leadership skills to mold successful young men who are also student athletes. We've also added a football player representative to join the search committee, giving the football team a stake and a voice in choosing our next head football coach. We hope to announce our selection of a new head football coach in the next week to 10 days. Next, issues and concerns. Over the last year, Bethune-Cookman University has begun a complete assessment of its facilities for fitness, renovation, and teardown, as well as the construction of new facilities to enhance our campus. We've enlisted the assistance of CTG Construction, an Orlando-based firm with extensive HBCU campus experience. Our facilities partner, Sodexo, and several environmental and architectural engineering firms to continue the assessment of over 100 buildings. Simultaneously, we began to prioritize necessity and cost as financial resources are limited. For some buildings and facilities, in light of two unprecedented weather events, Hurricane Ian and Hurricane Nicole, and enrollment growth, we've begun renovation and construction immediately. As with any process, facility age, building conditions, time to remedy, weather impact, and expense are paramount. To ensure we are thorough, this phase will likely not be completed until late summer or just before the fiscal year 23-24 school year. Once school begins in the fall, we will work around student movement and will likely require moving students around, which could be disruptive to their living and learning. Student logistics, campus housing, and instructional classroom spaces are keys to the university meeting its academic requirements. While I believe that the truth and transparency are always the best courses, some facts are not always friendly. However, we have to do what is right even when it's not popular. Our founder, Dr. Bethune, once remarked, the progress of the world will call for the best that all of us have to give. We will continue to move to be the best version of ourselves and truly appreciate the patience of our students and all concerned as we work to improve our community. Hail Wildcats. We were contacted by student leaders from Bethune-Cookman who wanted to come on this show to express their concerns about what's happening at the university. Joining us now is René White, the 69th Miss Bethune-Cookman University Elect, Tyler Kelly, the 69th Mr. Bethune-Cookman University Elect, and Wilbert Stubbs, Bethune-Cookman's student body president. Glad to have all three of you here. And so you see the letter there from the president. We saw the protest the other day. We heard from the football players as well. From your perspective, and we had Dr. Drake on yesterday, from your perspective, who's telling the truth? What is really going on at Bethune-Cookman?
Well, to be frank, it's a lot going on here at Bethune-Cookman University. Today, we did have students come out and really speak about how they felt in terms of the conditions that we're forced to face here at Bethune-Cookman University. I myself have been here 4 years, and I've experienced so much in terms of like lack of leadership, lack of resources in terms of like our facilities. And I did send in some pictures in terms of like what my dorm looked like my sophomore year. So there's a lot going on from top leadership all the way down to student leadership, we're struggling.
Janiyah Jones is also 69th Bethune-Cookman University student body vice president who joins us as well. So you said you've gone through a lot, and again, anyone else can jump in here. Yesterday, the president said, well, some of the students are saying that's mold, but really it's mildew, but mildew also turns into mold. We had the football players describing this. The president said football players were not sharing helmets. The players said, no, we were sharing helmets. And so what jumps out at me is, how do you have such two stark worlds where students are saying, this is what we are contending with, but the president is saying, no, that's not reality. Let's stay focused on facts.
I would speak on that. Student body president Wilbert Stubbs Jr. For me, I would definitely say a lot of that comes from miscommunication.
It was student body president Wilbert Stubbs. You were talking, and you started by saying it's miscommunication. Go ahead.
Yes. So, like I was saying before, I feel like it's just miscommunication coming from administration and then just the student body, because again, you're hearing one thing from the football players and then another thing from the interim president, and then same thing here on the student administration side. We hear stuff from students, and we go and advocate about it, and he's saying a whole different story. So it's just all about miscommunication. Like I was stating before, my last meeting with the university president that was in person was back in beginning of August, on August 10th to be exact, and I've requested numerous amount of meetings from that time onward, and has never been no form of communication.
Whoa, wait. Hold on. Wait. You're saying the last time you met in person with the university president was in August?
Mm-hmm. It was August 10th.
Mm-hmm. And you've made numerous requests with President Drake mm-hmm. to meet, mm-hmm. and he hasn't.
Mm-hmm. Right. And again, it was another time on the 31st of August, to be exact, where we was about to talk about a different issue relating to some dormitories issue, so I can advocate on behalf of my student body. And my office is on the whole other side of campus, and I had to walk to where his office was just to find out that the meeting was rescheduled. They asked me to give them my number. I gave them my number, all my contact information, time, what best times worked for me and everything, and never got a follow-up. And then the only other time following that was probably when we was in preparation of the storm, and they just needed me to help with the communication given out to the students. But other than that, there's never been no type of communication, no weekly meeting, monthly meeting, none of that.
As I listened to that, Janiyah, again, the president came here and said he said on this show that he communicates regularly with student leaders. September, October, November, December, January. I don't think meeting in person 5 months ago is regular.
Definitely. It's not.
Not at all.
Not at all.
René, I have heard from a number of people since yesterday's show. I have heard from faculty members. I have heard from folks in many areas of the university. I don't want to begin to name them because I don't want to out my sources. Folks have talked about scholarship money that was supposed to go to different units being used for other purposes. Folks have talked about not having a consistent accounting of resources. Ed Reed talked about this yesterday, that the university spends a significant amount of money transporting players back and forth to the stadium to practice when they could actually spend the money on a practice field. I was told that they spent a significant amount of money to turn an area on the campus where there was supposed to be a pep rally regarding homecoming, when that could have, when the coaches were asking for a practice field. And so, from your perspective, look, HBCUs love to tout who is Miss or Mr. of their school, and to hear what you're saying and the football players are saying, it is as if I'm getting I'm another planetary system for what the president said.
Yes, I will say when it comes down to our royal court as well, we have been having some type like we've been having a lot of issues in terms of getting in touch with the president before we were removed from our positions. That happened recently last semester.
Whoa, hold on. You were okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. You were removed as Miss Bethune-Cookman and Mr. Bethune-Cookman. Why?
Yes. So pretty much there was a trial that me and my king had to attend, and it was in regards to, it first started off with us coming up with a concept and not abiding by the concept. And we also did have a shift in leadership as well. We had a previous advisor who came in and he was assisting us with royal court business and things of that nature, and everything was moving pretty smooth. We were able to attend our recent conferences and everything else in between. The beginning of the semester is when they decided to remove our old advisor and they put new people into the position as of now. And once that shift in leadership happened, we started getting a lot of issues. They started moving back our coronation. We went through so much. They moved our coronation and
so what she's basically trying to say is there's been a lot of lack of respect for student leadership here on this campus of Bethune-Cookman University. I think I speak for the whole body of members of the SGA. Specifically the Royal Court, my name is Tyler Kelly, and I previously served as the 12th Mr. Bethune-Cookman University for the BCU Royal Court. And so like she was saying before, after some different situations that occurred at the beginning of the semester where there was a change in advisement and there were some different changes in leadership, the same week we had our first home game, and for the pep rally that week, we had a pep rally for the first home game, and we were without advisement for a little minute, for a second, so we were kind of doing things on our own or seeking the advisement of people that we did know. And so we did come up with a concept, and that concept wasn't approved once we met with the new advisement that we received the day before our meeting on that Wednesday. The next day, they told us that they would not like us to, move forward with that concept. But also, as we all know, or as we all may not know, Royal Court is an entity where you can't just do anything, but you definitely have to look unified. And with the advisement that we were having, there was no collaboration. There was no, coming together and let's figure out how we're going to move forward. It was just, okay, we're going to tell y'all what to do and y'all are going to go do it. And that's how it's been with student leadership in the past couple years. We have, different people have been a part of Student Government Association and Royal Court who have advocated on behalf of students. And every time it seems that as if we speak out against the university or, leaders of the university, we're shunned away or we're silenced. And that's been a very, very big problem at Bethune-Cookman. We've requested meetings with the president. We requested meetings with different other advisors, and none of those have been acknowledged. Sometimes we're not acknowledged at all. Sometimes we were, given the cold shoulder. So it's just like Bethune-Cookman needs new leadership, and it's time for a change. We had the Hail Mary protest back in 2018, where we did see some change, but we didn't. We're back here, 4 years ago. 4 years later, as well as just to speak to some of the things as Dr. Our president, interim president, Dr. Lawrence Drake talked about yesterday. Some of those things, like we had, like if we're at a spot now where we need to be truthful about a lot of things. We need to be truthful about everything. And it's not that you're meeting with your student leaders. You're not meeting with your student leaders. He talked about the divine nine. You're not meeting with your divine nine.
You don't have the divine nine.
And so just like just different things that we haven't been doing right on our campus. And it starts at the administration level. And yeah. So, and where it's like me being a fourth generation Wildcat, my mom attended, my mom's mom worked here in the infirmary back in, back whenever. So it's just like, different things. Like I came into Cookman, like nobody could tell me, nobody could say anything bad about Bethune-Cookman. And I think a lot of us can say the same thing. We just going through our student leadership throughout the years. It isn't until you get to the top and see the ins and outs of student leadership and, talking to different people until you really understand truly who you're working with. And as I will say, not everyone is a bad guy, but there are people that need to be out of different leadership positions. And that's what we're facing here at Bethune-Cookman University as student leaders today.
So I listen. So students are we're talking about conditions of dorms, and I get hurricanes. I totally get that. But when Avery was talking about trash all on the campus, he talked about gates not being fixed and homeless people being able to walk through the campus. Janai, you're shaking your head. And he was complaining. He said he was concerned if one of them decided to attack one of the young women or something along those lines. Are those things true? Like, I mean, go right ahead.
Yes, that is completely true. My 3 years here, we have homeless people just able to walk in the lobby and sit there and do what they want. And no one, you can call campus security. They're not, they don't move with a sense of urgency. So it's a very open campus. Trash is always everywhere, which leaves people to question, where is our maintenance team? Even though, we have to hold ourselves accountable and pick up trash. What's really going on?
I'd just like to also touch on what Janaya just said in terms of the young women on campus as well. And I feel like our Department of Campus Safety definitely does need to do better in terms of looking after our students. We faced so many different things in terms of students coming out about certain things that have happened to them on campus and not receiving the help that they need. And I think that there needs to be a shift in not just leadership, but a shift in Bethune-Cookman University as a whole. Because since I've been coming here, since I came to Bethune-Cookman University now, I'm coming from PG County, Maryland. I'm coming from a long way to come to school and making a lot of sacrifices to come to school. And for us to be dealing with these types of conditions is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I think us as a student body, us as student leaders came together to make sure that not only are our voices currently being heard, but that change really is being implemented. Because we haven't seen that in the past few years that we've been here at Bethune-Cookman University. And it's not just, it's bigger than what is out there right now. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. And we really need a change. And I think it's great that we were able to get everybody together to speak out on their injustices today, speak out on, and we will continue to have people speak out on their injustices because Bethune-Cookman University has put a lot of different things in place to silence us. They've silenced us for years.
You know what? Can I ask you this? Because I was told by the alumni that students have to sign NDAs or something along those lines where you can't talk. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Whoa.
That's true.
Hold up. As y'all are required to sign statements saying you cannot publicly discuss the university?
In the beginning, like when you first apply, there are a lot of different paperwork that you have to sign and things of that nature. And a lot of students kind of overlook it until they reach graduation. But there are different documents that we are told to sign prior to attending Bethune-Cookman University.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you don't. Yeah, if you don't mind, as well as even just speaking back to student leadership, at the student leadership aspect, we are, once we are in our positions and you are, once you're sworn in, once you've gone through your different ceremonies that you have to go through, you have to sign contracts being a student leader, social media. Talking about different social medias, even when we were going through our things, they had problems about us posting on our social medias. They placed the Royal Court on cease and desist on September 9th of 2022. Originally we were told that it would last until until they saw fit, and then then it went on to you guys will be on until right before the classic homecoming or classic.
Definitely.
Yes. And so the voices of students are being silenced, and as we see already, we've had students lose their positions, and students are afraid to speak out sometimes. And I believe if you see all the 300 to 400 students that were there yesterday, students felt unified. We felt like a campus that was able to come together and speak on behalf of our university and come together and be there for one another. When you're going through things and you can't you have nobody to speak to. You're gonna sit there and be quiet because you don't want to be in trouble, or you don't want to be get disbarred, or get out of your position. But one thing that we have to realize as students and student leaders is that we're not subject to the wants and needs of the university administration and staff. Mm-hmm. We're subject to the wants and needs of the students and the student body, and that's what we're here to serve, and that's what we're going to continue to do, and we're going to continue to protest and do what we need to do until we continue to see the change that we want.
I thank the four of you for joining us, for being brave enough to come on to talk about this here. Your president extended an invitation for me to come visit the campus, to see the campus. I accepted the invitation, but we've sent emails stating that I would like to do a town hall on the campus next week, Thursday or Friday, with him, administration, faculty, staff, and students. We'll see if that happens, but let me be clear. Even if they rescind that, we're still going to do a town hall in Daytona Beach to talk about what's happening with Bethune-Cookman. So please let the students know that this show will be there next week, but we prefer to do it on campus. And I still hope they keep the invitation open to allow us to bring our cameras there to actually show what they say is being taken care of. We want to be able to show everyone else what's taking place. Again, we appreciate it, and thanks a lot. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.